welcome to Organolysis. So welcome to another video of the name reaction series. Now in this particular video we are going to discuss the important name reaction that is called Chugaev elimination reaction, and some consequence reaction of the Chugaev elimination reaction is the xanthate ester pyrolysis and the pyrolytic syn elimination. Now you can think what is meant by pyrolysis. Now pyrolysis is basically heating. Now to heat a compound, and that is basically the xanthate ester. Now what is xanthate ester? We will do that in the next reaction sequence. Now what is the basic reaction and what is the basic reagent for this Chugaev elimination reaction? Now first of all, you have kind of any 1 degree, 2 degree or 3 degree alcohol like this. Now if you are treated with this alcohol by using a sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide or sodium hydride lipo base in the presence of carbon disulfide, that is CS2, and if you are put any kind of alkyl halide, now this R4, you can see here this R4 is basically your methyl, which is basically used for this Chugaev elimination reaction. So R4 is basically a methyl group. Now when you use this reaction condition, you are getting then alkyl xanthate. Now this is your xanthate. Now this overall part is called the xanthate group. Now this xanthate group, if you are heating this compound, it will form an alkene kind of derivative. Now this is, I can see here, that is your pyrolytic condition, that is your heat. So heat is given to you, so that is what it is, you are getting the alkene from a alkyl xanthate. Now how will you get this one from this one to that one and that one to that one? Now you are getting this kind of side product. Okay, so first of all, see that mechanism of this reaction. Now mechanism of this reaction is quite simple. You can see here, that is, we are taking this R1, this is your OH, R2, and this is your R3. Now when we are using sodium hydride kind of base, so it can take a proton from here and it will go like this. So this is what you get, it is like this, R2 and R3 like this. Okay, now you are using carbon disulfide, that is this one. So this negative charge directly attack to this carbon center and it will go like this way. So you are getting this one, R2 and R3, and here you have the oxygen, and you can see here, that is your double bond S, and this S is negatively charged. Now to trap this S minus by using this methyl iodide, that is, you are using this R4I is basically methyl iodide. I am written over here as a methyl iodide, so it will attack over here and it will leave from the system like this way, so that you can see over here that you are getting the alkyl xanthate. This is your R2, R3, oxygen, this is your double bond O SMe. So this is what your alkyl xanthate. Now if you are heating this compound, you are getting an alkene. Then how will you get that? This is the important reaction, and that is what it is called the Chugaev elimination reaction or pyrolytic syn elimination. Now from the name you can see that is the syn elimination. So syn is basically denoted, that is, compound should contain at least one beta hydrogen. So that is what it is. You can write this structure in this way, that is your R1, that is your hydrogen over here, that is your R2 and R3, this is your oxygen, this is your sulfur, and this is your SMe. Okay, so this is what you get, it is from here. So this is not a CH2, this is directly bond to the oxygen, and this is directly bonded to the oxygen like this way. Okay, so you can see that is the oxygen, this hydrogen is given over here, and this sulfur has a lone pair of electron. So if you are hitting this compound, this compound follows a 6-membered cyclic transition state, and by using this you are getting the alkene over here. So from here you can see that you are getting an alkene, R2 and R3. This is what you are getting from an alkene by using this one. So if you are hitting in the 200 degrees Celsius or 100 to 250 degrees Celsius, you are getting this elimination reaction, and this is your pyrolytic syn elimination. So this step is your basically pyrolytic syn elimination. right? So this is your pyrolytic syn elimination. This is quite important. Now this reaction goes via the cyclic transition, 6-member cyclic transition state, and by using this you are getting an alkene, and the side product that you get is this one, that is your C double bond S double bond SME and double bond O minus, like this, and from here you are getting this one, that is your, this bonds go here and it will leave from the system like this way, and this is your hydrogen, this is a positive. Now from here you are getting this C double bond O double bond S and the side product, that is MESH, right? So this is what you get from this reaction. So this is the basic mechanism of this reaction. Now let's see some key points for this reaction that you should remember for this Chugaev elimination reaction. Now for this, the pyrolysis of xanthate should contain or at least one beta hydrogen. That is what you can see here, that is your syn elimination, and this is what this is what your syn elimination, and you can see here this is your alpha and this is your beta. So you can see here the one beta hydrogen is present, so that is why this reaction goes to the forward direction. So this point is very much important. Next thing is that the cis elimination, it is cis or syn, you can say. So this is syn elimination should takes place, no anti elimination is being takes place for this reaction. So that is why this reaction is quite important for the different types of compound. Now see, the next point is that the primary alcohols are more reactive and it will form this stable xanthate. That is why this primary alcohol is more reactive, and that is what you are getting this stable xanthates. The xanthate means this one, this is your xanthate. Now the next thing is that the byproduct, that is your COS, that is your this one, and this R4SH, the R4 is basically methyl, so that is what you are getting, this one, and these two are very stable, and these two are making the elimination irreversible. So that is why this reaction is irreversible and it goes to the forward direction in a greater than 90% amount yield, right? So this is what your key points to remember. Now let's see some examples that are very much important to this reaction, and we also do that the previous year question also. And let's see some provable question and the examples which may come in different kinds of exam. Now from this one you can see that your compound is given to you and the base is given, that is tertiary butoxide, and the CS2MEI and DHF. Now when you see this one, you should know that the second step should give heating to a heating condition. So you can see here the second condition is a heating condition. So you know what will be the product and how this reaction takes place. I will show you some later here. That is this one. This is what you get. It is, this is your hydrogen, this is your CO2Me methyl. Now this tertiary butoxide takes a proton from here and getting the O minus, and this O minus directly attack to this CS2, that is carbon disulfide, and you are getting this product, this, and this S minus directly takes directly attack to this methyl iodide and getting this SME over here. Now you can see that there is a two hydrogen over here, that is this one. This CH2 unit contains one hydrogen is above the plane, one hydrogen is below the plane, and you can see that this hydrogen is below the plane. So I already told you that this reaction is syn pyrolytic syn elimination. So you can see this oxygen, that is the xanthate part, is given to you is the above the plane. So if this is in above the plane, this then the next hydrogen, that is a beta hydrogen you have, this is your alpha, there is a 2 beta position you have. Now these 2 beta position, this position have these 2 hydrogen, that is one above and below, and here you have the below the plane. So this the elimination from here, you don't get this alkene over here, you are getting the alkene in this way specifically, and that is what it is. You are getting this after using this heating, you are getting an alkene over here, that is in this position, not this position, because this hydrogen you are not getting that product, that is this one, you won't get that product because this hydrogen is below the plane, and if you do that, then this reaction doesn't follow the syn elimination rule. So that is why it is you are getting this hydrogen over here, this is what you get, and one more thing that is given to you, that is the LaH, that is lithium aluminum hydride, and by using this you are getting you have to reduce this ester and you are getting this product, that is CH2OH, like this. Okay, so this is what you get from this product. Now the next thing is that similarly the same question that you have given is this one. This OH is given to you, that is above the plane, and you are getting this xanthate over here, and after that heating, where the alkene formation should take place in this position, not this position, because this hydrogen is below the plane and this overall group is above the plane. So that is to maintain that is what you have the hydrogen, and this will eliminate over here, and you are getting that product, right? That is your methyl, and the rest part is similar to this. This is your hydrogen, and you are getting this alkene over here. So this is what it is, the product, final product for this reaction. Now similar kind of thing happen when you are using the selenium oxide case. Now how can you prepare this selenium oxide? You know, I already told you in my previous video that when we are using this selenium compound or sulfur compound, and if we are using this any kind of oxidizing agent, that is H2O2 or H2O2 or like NaIO4, that is this kind of thing, if you are using this one, then you are getting this this selenium oxide or sulfoxide kind of derivative. So if you are heating this compound, this also follow the scene elimination rule. So that is what you are getting, this is six member ring, and you are getting this final product, that is this kind of alkene you are getting. So I also tell you some examples for this kind of reaction in later, and let us see some example that you have is this one. See this one, if you have this kind of compound, and there you can see over here that is the double bond O is given, and heat is given to you, that is 400 degree temperature. So you can see that the scene elimination should take place. Now you can see this deuterium is present, that which is seen to this this kind of this group. So that is what you are getting, this kind of product, this one, that is C double bond C. You can see this pH and this pH are opposite to each other, so you are getting this trans product, and these two hydrogens are opposite to each other, so that is what you are getting, this trans product. Now the similar case, if you have the hydrogen in cis position and the deuterium is present in the below the plane, so the product should be like this. So you can see that is this pH and this pH is below, that is opposite to each other, and you are getting this hydrogen and deuterium in this position. So you can see that if you are changing the position, this deuterium by using hydrogen, now hydrogen by deuterium, you are getting two different kind of product, that is one is a hydrogen substituted product and one is the deuterium substituted product, right? Let's see some another example of this kind of reaction, that you have given this kind of substrate and you are heating this compound in this quite higher temperature. So you can see this OCOMe is your it will leave from the system to takes a proton from this, takes a hydrogen from here, and you are getting an alkene. Now the question arises, where the alkene formation will be takes place, right? So you can see this hydrogen and this OCOMe group are trans to each other or anti to each other. So you know the concept of this pyrolytic scene elimination is that this hydrogen should place in the syn position. So you can see over here, this is your syn position, that is this hydrogen syn to each other, and it will take a proton over here, and you are getting this, and it will leave from the system in this way, and that is what you are getting. The final product is CO280 and this one, right? So this is your product from you get. Now if you change this OCOMe position in this way, now you can see this hydrogen and this OCOMe group are syn to each other. So it will form it takes a proton, it will go over here and it will leave from the system, and that is what you get from this reaction is this one, right? It is there CO2Me. So this is what you get from this kind of reaction, right? Now see some another example that you have this one. Now this question is came in CSIR December 2015. This is a previous year question, and this question is directly taken from the Carruthers book, right? So this question says that if you have N oxide, so this is a kind of Meitzenheimer rearrangement. I already told you what is a Meitzenheimer rearrangement. I If you haven't checked that video, I already made a separate link or playlist for this section. You can go the description for the link of this rearrangement reaction series, and you can get this. That is your Meitner-Heimer rearrangement. Meitner-Heimer rearrangement. Right. So this is somewhat your Meitner-Heimer rearrangement, and it is also follow the same elimination rule. So if you have this compound and if you have hitting the compound, you are getting the product, that is this one. And how will you get that? That is, this is your isopropyl and this is what your methyl. Now you can see here, that is this hydrogen is seen to N oxide, but this hydrogen also seen to seen to this N oxide. Now you are getting these two compound, that is your isopropyl, and this is what your methyl, like this. So you are getting these two compound. Now which one will be your major one? So this will be your major one, that is your 65%, and this is your 35%. You are getting the product. So this is your major amount because it is less substituted comparative with this one. So one more concept that you should know is the, in case of pyrolytic elimination, you are getting the less substituted product, not the more substituted one. So that is why you are getting this is in your major amount. Now you can see that in this condition, this N oxide is this hydrogen is trans to each other. So this the formation of this product will be neglected, and you are getting the only product, that is this one. This takes a proton over here and it will leave from the system like this way, so that you are getting, that is your methyl, like this. So this is your product, right? So the next question comes out, that is this one. Now if you see the compound in a very careful way, that is, you are given this toxic acid and this is your protecting agent. Now ethylene glycol, now this is your protecting agent. Now you have the two types of ketone over here. Now you know that the ketone is more reactive compared to this ester, so it will first protected that one. Now if it is protected, now it is look like this way, so that this is 5 and this is what you get is this one. Now then the second step is that you have given this LiNr2. This LiNr2 is a kind of base, so it takes a proton which is acidic in nature. So this is takes a proton from here, and this negatively charged, this SMe and SMe, so it will attack over here and it will leave from the system, so that you are getting the product. Now after the hydrolysis, you know this ketal is breaks in the acidic hydrolysis condition, so it will breaks in this previous form, it will get, and you are getting, that is OMe, and you have the ASMe over here. Now in presence of NaIO4, you know I already told you in the previous example, that is in presence of H2O2 or NaIO4, you are getting this S oxide over here, and here you have the hydrogen. After heating condition, that is 110 degree, takes a proton, it will go over here and it will leave from the system. So that is what it is, you are getting the product like this. So this is your major product for this reaction. Now next example says that if you have the cyclopentane 1 alpha beta unsaturated ketone, that is your, and you are using this compound in the presence of PH2CuLi, this is your alkyl cuprate reagent. Now you know that what will be the mechanism for this reaction, that is CuPH Li, so it will attack over here. You know that in presence of copper, the 1,4 addition should take place, so that is what it is, you are getting this product, and you are getting that one. Sorry, this is your O minus, and this is pH is attacked from the below the plane, right? So this is O minus Li plus, and you are given this pH ACBr, so it will go back to here, and this will attack on selenium, and the Br will leave from the system, that you are getting the final product from here is this one, double bond O. Now if this pH is above the plane, so ACBr should take place in the below the plane, so that you are getting this one. Now when you are using this H2O2 in this compound, so you are getting this S oxide, the selenium oxide, and if you see carefully that you have this hydrogen which is in below the plane, so if the hydrogen is in the above the plane, then the elimination will not take place, and you have given the heating condition, so it will go over here, takes a proton, it will leave from the system, and the final product that you get is this one, right? So this is your major product from this reaction. Next question comes out this one. The similar concept that you have given to you is that the LDA is given. Now you think that if you have the ketone like this, so the acidic proton is over here. So you have the acidic proton, this LDA takes a proton from here, you are getting the negative charge over here, and this negative charge directly attack over here, and it will leave from the system. And this is the kind of difference between SN2 and SN2 prime, that this will attack either over here or over here. So for this I already made a separate video, that is difference between SN2 and SN2 prime. You can go over here for that video, right? So this will, I am not written the overall structure that you are getting, that is your CCPH, that is what you are getting. Now when you are using H2O2, the similar concept, that is selenium oxide is formed and it takes hydrogen over here, you are getting, and it will leave from the system, and from that this one is your major product, right? So this is your major product from this reaction. Now next example comes out, that is this one. If you have this compound, now this question came in IIT GATE 2009. Now the question is, the first question was came in, right? So not the second one. So question says that you have given this LDA, PHSE, ACPH, LDA and methyl iodide. Now you have to look this compound very much carefully for this reaction that you have, this one. Now you know that LDA is given, so it takes a proton over here and you are getting negative charge over here. It will attack over this selenium system and 1 mole of ACPH will leave from the system. You are getting this ACPH over here. So you are getting this. Now you can see that this hydrogen is in below the plane. So if the hydrogen is in the below the plane, so that means this ring is placed to the above the plane. So you are getting this. Now after that you are getting this ACPH over here. Now the second step, you have given the 1 mole of LDA. So this will take another hydrogen over here and it will directly attack over the methyl center, and you are getting this product, right? So what will be the product? Now what will be the stoichiochemistry of this selenium pH and this methyl? That is what it is important for this reaction. For this you have to know another concept that you have. Now when you are using this methyl iodide, now see this hydrogen is in the below the plane, so this ring should be in above the plane. So this less crowded position is in the hydrogen side, so this methyl comes to the hydrogen side. pH is in the above the plane. Now you have this H2O2 condition, so it will form this selenium oxide. Now you can see that if you have the this hydrogen, this selenium pH is above the plane, so this hydrogen, so it will take a hydrogen over here and it will form the alkene. Now I will show you in clear way, that is this one. This hydrogen over here, that is your methyl, and this is your ACPH and this is your O minus. Now what will be the product? Now there is another option that this hydrogen is in the below the plane, so to maintain the syn elimination condition, so this hydrogen should place in the above the plane, so this is not. So that is why this O minus directly takes a proton from here and it will leave from the system in this way. So that is why you are getting the final product like this one, right? That is what you are getting, this the product. Now similar condition that you have this one. Now you can see this LDA takes a proton over here, it will take directly attack to the methyl center. You are getting the methyl over here. Now the second step, the LDA is given. Now see that difference between of this reaction is that the placing of this group is important. In this case the selenium pH is attacks over first, then the methyl iodide, and this is the reverse case of this reaction. Now you are getting, for this you are getting a reverse product for also. Now this is what you are getting, that now this LD takes a proton over here and it will attack over this selenium pH. Now in this case, now you can see this hydrogen is below the plane, so the incoming ACPH group should takes place in below the plane. So that is why you are getting this ACPH and this methyl over here, and you can see this hydrogen this way. Now you can see that H2O2 is given, same kind of S oxide is present over here. Now you can see this hydrogen is now seen to each other. Now it can takes a proton and it will leave from the system, and that is what you get from this reaction is this one. Now in this case you are getting this alkene position that is here, and this is a cyclic alkene, but in this case you are getting the exocyclic alkene, and that is the difference of these two reaction. That is the by changing the consequence of this reaction, that is the first PHAC, then the methyl iodide, or then methyl, or first methyl then selenium pH, right? So this is all about the examples of this reaction. Next comes out the previous year question that we have. You see, the question came in the CSIR NET June 2017. Question says that you have given this one and the sodium sodium hydride CS2 methyl, all the similar condition, and you know the product, and you can easily predict what will be the product, and the heat is given to you. So you can see that is the hydrogen is below the plane. So from here the alkene formation takes place, that is this one. So this is your final product for this reaction. Now similar question comes around is that this one, the question came in June 2013. Question says that you have this methyl is in below the plane and this OH is in the below the plane. Now this hydrogen here is in the above the plane. Now this overall group is in below the plane, so this alkene formation will not take place over here. So for this you have this hydrogen over here, that is which is in the below the plane, and that is what you are getting from this reaction is this one, that is the alkene formation in this way, in this position, because this methyl is in below the plane, and in this case the hydrogen is in below the plane, and which is seen to this overall group, and that is what after heating you are getting this pyrolysis of xanthate ester, you are getting this product in major amount, right? So this is all about the Chugayev elimination reaction or pyrolytic elimination reaction. So I think I have covered all those topics related to this NEM reaction, and I hope this video is very much helpful for you, and this I have also discussed the previous year question and the probable question which may come in upcoming CSIR or GATE exam, right? And if you like this video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel and press the bell icon to get the earlier notification from my channel, right? And that's it for this video, and thank you so much for watching.